Hello and welcome back to the OGA Pit Latin American Qualifiers. I'm set up and joined once again by the lovely Demo. We're going to get into our second game of the night, but our actual last game of the night because we only have two best of threes. But this is going to be the second game to decide. We just saw Liquid in an incredible series go through. They're going to be invited to the OGA Pit LAN in December. And then we have to find one more team to go there from Latin America. So it's going to be between MIBR and Black Dragons, Demo.
Am I always the lovely Demo?
I think you're pretty lovely.
Because even Flux says lovely Demo. Can I be something else?
What do you want to be, Demo?
Don't know.
I'll think of something and get back to you on
Demo
that
the
one.
Destroyer.
So, we'll see how things do down. We're going to go into MIBR versus Black Dragons for our second series of the night. Just one more team from Latin America will be decided, and then we'll have NA tomorrow, and we'll have Europe on Wednesday. So, some pretty good games so far. It was an okay game last game.
You Specs, do you need these? Do you want... Here, put them on. You need them. But yeah, I can't see, so I'm trying my best.
I think...
give me them back. I need
well, of
those.
course,
Sorry.
anyone who did watch that game between Liquid and Ints, if you didn't watch it, do go and watch it back. That was an absolutely insane series. Hopefully we'll have another good one coming up between MIBR and Black Dragons. But let's get into the map ban and see exactly where these two teams will be going against each other at. Take us through the map ban, Demo. What do you think here?
Right. Well, I think it's going to be very varied in terms of what we're going to see. Coastline ban straight off the rip from Black Dragons. We've seen what MIBR did to Team 1 in the last play day, and that was pretty impressive. And a consulate ban. Black Dragons, they, in their last time they played, in their best of three against Guardians Imperium, we've seen Villa straight off the rip as the first pick. I feel as if we could also see Villa straight off the back of it. I think Black Dragons could easily go ahead and pick up Villa once more. I'm kind of expecting Bank, because both teams really like that map. So if I'm going to do my bets, I'd probably say a Villa and a Bank at least to be shown.
Yeah, I mean, I think MIBR could really go to a lot of maps here, but it's going to be Border as our first map pick here for Black Dragons. So surprisingly not going to be bringing the Villa here at all. So that's going to be the first map pick, and Clubhouse is going to be picked up by MIBR. Some interesting map picks going through. I think, like, Border... These are two kind of like polar opposite maps in my eyes, because Border, quite standard, quite basically, there's not really too much you can do with it, but Clubhouse, very, very varied map at the moment.
Yeah, if you look at Border, I don't really think bans play a big part in that map, because it kind of plays out the exact same way every time. You look at Clubhouse, bans mean everything. Bans literally decide how fast or how slow you have to play the game. Unexpected. I was really thinking that Villa or Bank would be brought in. He's still an option, though, as a decider. I don't think Cafe is going to be a decider, though. I really don't think it. I think that's going to be banned.
Oh, well, MIBR is going to take Bank off the board.
Has to be a Villa.
Immediately. I'm going to thinking probably Villa here. As yes,
Black
Black Dragons will ban out Cafe, and we'll see Villa. So we've actually not seen any of these maps yet tonight, despite the fact we just had a 3-map series just happen. So all new maps.
Yep, all new maps to really dive into. And Border being the first one as well. This is really risky for Black Dragons going up against MIBR, who we know against Team 1, their gun skill was out of this world. Being able to take on the likes of Skadina and Lukid and winning those consistently was really impressive at Black Dragon. Let's see how you do with Borders. It's coming right up for you. And, well, this one, James, again, another really great series. Another 2 Pro League teams kicking off.
Yeah, I think unlike the last matchup when we had Liquid versus Ints, we were pretty sure that Liquid should be able to take that in the end. This series is a lot closer. Black Dragons finished a lot higher in the standings in Pro League, but we said the same thing about Team 1, and MIBR absolutely destroyed them. They took them 7-0 on Coastline, absolutely dismantled them there. So, and also MIBR, again, just to mention, they were the only team out of Latin America, Europe, and North America to survive relegations. They kept their Pro League spot. So, MIBR is looking like a really good best-of-3 team.
This could be the kind of uplifting morale that they need right now, because as a team, they've looked miserable. It's been really sad to see a top-performing team out of this region fall from grace really hard, and they were really lucky enough not to actually be setting themselves in Challenger League and winning that relegation. Now the ban's come in for Border. Pretty standard for the most part, apart from that Buck ban. That's a strange one. Again, we've seen that earlier tonight already, and I just don't think it does anything. I really don't. I question it quite heavily.
Well, actually, it does do something, Demo. It makes sure that the attackers can't play Buck.
Oh, don't give me that. Don't give me that.
hey, I need to sit through a whole night of Halloween puns.
Well, guess what, you know, banning the mirror does? It means that the enemy team can't get mirror. That's basically what you've tried to say.
Yeah. It's just a, you know, quick whip. But we're going to be coming around. It is going to be, of course, that Armory, Lockers, and Archives defense coming out already from MIBR. Of course, because this is Black Dragons' map pick, it means MIBR get to choose sides, and they'll go to defense first. But again, I feel like this is a very important point that is often overlooked, and in my mind was a big reason why Liquid just won the last series, is that Black Dragons, get to pick OT sides. So, while Border is not a map that we see go to OT often, it could definitely be the case here, and obviously is going to be playing a big factor there. We'll see a bit of a CC hold coming out from MIBR here.
10 seconds to go.
Bringing in the Ella, an operator which has seen some play, but not an accelerating mount. Scorpion in hand. I'm disappointed to say the least.
I think it's fine here because like the CC hold is kind of hard to do with a shotgun.
It's not her map. It's not her playstyle to have that Titan Killer Scorpion. Just they can bring it if they want to. Still though for MIBR, good amount of C4s though. They have two of them. Navi's and Hogzord can easily drop below, and that's like a big thing for Border.
You know what's crazy? We see a LATAM play day, 6 maps that have been chosen, and we haven't seen Bank. That's the only map we haven't seen.
Yeah, that is actually quite the irony about it.
Yeah.
Intriguing.
We'll
I really thought it was going to come out here though.
Yeah,
I really thought
well.
this was going to be the series where we would see Bank, because both teams, they've had okay results, and definitely a map which I'm pretty sure both teams would not kind of shy away from. Somebody had to bite the bullet. So now for Black Dragons, they're on the attack first. They have some hard breach and not a whole lot of like denial kind of things, as in to lock down the defenders. And there's no Jackal, there's no Lion. Of course, Capital being banned would be a big one to kind of shut down numerous positions in towards like half-wall areas and stuff like that. And no smokes either from Black Dragons, so they're really reliant on the kind of frag potential that I think Live can bring, and I think he's been their standout performer in this tournament so far. He's really impressed me with his quick gun skill, but he is that main entry. We expect that from him.
Oh, well, it's going to be GDN on the Thermite. Is going to be able to take Novice off the board already. That's a Nitro off the board from MIBR, but more importantly, that's office control basically gone into the favor of Black Dragons almost instantly. MIBR to me is just like a team that's been together for a really long time, and Black Dragons is kind of a mixture of the kind of old guard. So
yeah,
it's an interesting matchup.
Yeah, they're like the mutt of Brazil, aren't they? Just formed up of all different teams, and still for MIBR, they've had their fair share of roster changes. You know, Hogzord coming in very recently in terms of how long Siege has been around for. I think we'll get to that stage where like big roster moves are like really big now. You think about all other sports that have been kind of stabilized for quite a while. Whenever there's a roster move, it's absolutely massive news. And I think that whenever we get to the stage where the NA shuffle doesn't exist is where we're moving into the right direction for Siege.
Well, we'll see already a 3v5. MIBR not looking too good in their first defense round. We've still got M-King on the board with the Maestro as well. So Hogzard, who does manage to pick up 1 frag, picks up 2 frags as well as M-King finds one of his own, and all of a sudden things have swung completely into the favor of MIBR as they hold it down. 30 seconds left to go on the clock. Black Dragons do have their entry into the site, but they're lost, it seems. They're at a man disadvantage as well as WAG comes through onto the east stairs, and Panico makes his way up onto AC as well, but only 15 seconds left to go on the clock. They need to make their entry in and make something happen. There goes the Maestro as well. Panico trying to make his move all the way through. WAG does take 1 down as well, but the refrag should come through from Hogzard, and there we go. MIBR takes round number 1. Almost a complete throwaway from MIBR there.
It's the way the momentum swings. Whenever someone just appears out of nowhere and pulls in 2 kills to sway it back into their favor, that's all you really asked for. And MIBR, they responded to Black Dragons. They went for a full office side take. And we don't see that all too often. Generically, it is towards Armory, where you take control of security and then push your way in through there. It's very simple. There's not a whole lot of roadblocks, unless you do step into an off-site hole towards security, which I feel is like a very common occurrence these days, where literally teams will hold security on like every site, bar, bathroom, and tellers. There's always that kind of attitude to it, where they know how strong security is, because that's like the main staging ground, isn't it, for the final attack?
Yeah, I suppose it depends on bans, but we do see a number of creative CC holds do come out as well. We do like Doc or Maestro holding that area down as well. So we'll have a look how things go down as we move to round number 2.
Tellers now. Or not Tellers, Ventilation Room and Workshop. And MIBR, they are looking to gear up, I feel, for a very heavy information gathering lineup. They're bringing Valkyrie and Maestro, and also Mozzie, if he can capture some drones, that could help them out in the long term. Castle as well is a common feature, I feel, for this bomb site specifically. The fact that you can castle off towards like the Teller side. Sometimes we see teams play a lot more aggressive and will actually go ahead and castle off towards like Tellers in the waiting room, which is what Hugsword's doing. Or we see castle off the bathroom, and that kind of gives them like a bit of an extension so they can hold the hatch dropper in towards A-bomb. And also I feel as if that other armor panel could have been used for upstairs to assist the roamers, primarily in towards the main armory metal door. But instead he's used all three of them towards the east. So really holding down that side of the map as much as they can. So I'd imagine extension into armory is what they're trying to play for, and that's exactly what they're going for.
I'm not sure what M-King was trying to do there. I guess he was trying to put the Maestro on the top of the serve a bit, but that's not going to happen for him at all. We'll see the Evil Eyes are, however, going to be going down. And we'll see a very top-heavy hold coming out from MIBR across the round. We have again from live found the Twitch back into the lineup. I'll have a look how Black Dragons do want to take this. Their first round was actually looking really good. They managed to find those couple of entry picks right off the bat. And of course we'll be seeing exactly how things are going to be going down across the board from Black Dragons. IQ scanner of course coming out from PZD. Just going to be having a look about what is going on. The big thing about also the IQ scanner here is that not only is he going to be able to see that there is gadgets in there, he's going to be seeing exactly what gadgets are available, of course.
So Black Dragons just taking their time, figuring out exactly where they want to try and push in from, and it will be primarily towards Armory. So using that security as their main way in, and they have opened up the breach. So MIBR, they have to take a little back step. There is still, of course, roamers lurking in, one towards Sandwich primarily, who will try and be the first man up to bat away the opposition, and also support from the Jaeger. Rotation in, live seen that, so now they know there's a man inside a small office. That's good information being gathered up. So I wonder if Black Dragons will continue on with an upstairs push, or perhaps try and fall back and look for another alternative if they feel it's too tough to try and take down. They've already dropped inside of Customs to give themselves another option of pushing. I don't know if that's going to be the best decision. They're eating up a lot of time, and I feel this may just be a quick panic rush from Black Dragons.
They do have a lot of control over Customs side in that kind of area, but as I say that, there goes the IQ of PZD. He's off the board so early on. And yeah, that was insane coming out from Hugsword. There's already PZD off the board. That is now a 4v5 situation as Black Dragons try and force their way in. Novice gets one of his own, and there goes Panico, getting a kill onto Novice on the run out. Comes all the way back in and sees what he can do here so far, but it's a 3v4 and live is very low HP. Panico gonna throw a nade deep as well, does find the kill onto Cyber on top metal and tries to find his way all the way into sight. Live does take down one, but instantly traded out by Bullet. It's all down to Bullet and M-King to try and hold it down, but there goes M-King. Bullet still above, however, to be able to deny the plant that's going down. Nades are going to go out, GDN beginning to plant the diffuser down, but they know where he is right now as the shotgun bullets come out from above as well, but he tries to reload. What? As the Black Dragons take the round and Panico eliminates Bullet.
What's he doing? What? He looked at the man for like 5 seconds.
Sorry, I'm just going to have a quick reload.
What's he
Don't mind
doing?
me.
What an idiot.
Oh.
Ah.
Huge mistake coming out there, but it's going to be MIBR, who unfortunately will fail at that defense. They're going to go back there again to Events Room and Workshop and see exactly what they can do about that. As Black Dragons should be pretty confident with this, but these have been some pretty close rounds coming through so far.
I can't believe he done that.
Can't believe you've done that.
How was he? Are
you okay?
No. I have a really sore head now all of a sudden.
It's unfortunate. Well, we're going to be moving through into round number 3. And we'll see, again, Hugsword could be bringing the castle. But I think Black Dragons should know that this is going to be the Events defense, so I don't think that 6th pick really threw them off at all. We do see, well, you know, we'll see how it's going to be going down. So moving to round number 3, we'll see, of course, another Events defense. We do see the same lineup coming out from MIBR as well. I thought this is like pretty aggressive from MIBR, kind of across the board. Like, especially with Novice's jump out.
10 seconds to
Oh, MIBR. Right, let's see if you can try and recoup yourself. And
5 seconds left.
Bullet, come on, he's better than that. We know he is. He's a great player. You know what? Also, keep in mind, Pro League champion. People forget that about him. That's
That
just
is
kind of
true.
where MIBR have to remember they still have a little bit of caliber, don't they? Still, we know they can produce results. You know, they really impressed us Team 1. Everybody in the MIBR lineup were excellent players. That's why I feel as if, because of that matchup, I know what they're capable of. And whenever I see Bullet do those plays, I wonder, how can you go from doing what you did against Team 1 to that? You know? You never want to go back in life, do you, James? You never want to go back. You always want to keep going further.
Yeah, I'd say that it's a pretty good motto for life overall. We'll have a look what Black Dragons want to do on their attack, but it looks like, again, they're going to try and push the armory out, regain that upstairs control, and then try and push customs yet again. So, like, they were pretty good at getting the CC control really early on. We saw some, like, early aggressive moves coming out from MIBR, but overall, the control was definitely going into the way of Black Dragons, although they didn't actually push armory that heavy. They opened up the thermite wall, and then they completely kind of rotated off. I guess to just give them an angle as well to make sure they can plant into vents rather than take over armory completely.
Black Dragons not really changed up their lineup though, are they? They're very passive in kind of what they're bringing together. They not looking for anything to kind of spur them on in. It's not like we're seeing Lion or Dokkaebi being addition in, which we know is a kind of common occurrence for them.
Yeah,
we'll see
I
how
mean,
they try and move on.
This is kind of Border in a nutshell, though, right? Like, it's all about because you can just bring the same lineup for every kind of attack, and you can kind of do whatever you want with it. This is a very diverse lineup coming out from Black Dragon, so I definitely do not mind it being brought in. Jones are going to go out, and they're going to make sure that there is no one bandit tricking the wall or anything like that, and GDN should be able to open up the wall easy as that. So that's going to allow WAG to have a bit of a sight line, but as I said, Black Dragons mostly fall off at this point.
So, MIBR, they are holding firm, haven't lost anybody as of yet. But Black Dragons, again, not entirely sure if they want to try and take upstairs. Last time it somehow did work for them, just being able to force their way in as a bit of a panic push, but MIBR, they really should have had that, and again, it comes back to Bullet. Let's see if we can try and make up mistakes.
Still gonna trade out with Novice there.
Yeah, that's main two fraggers gone now for both teams, and just leaves it at a win. Still, for MIBR, it feels as if they have great control. They're not letting Black Dragons have that potential of rushing with the way they have the information being set up and also the crossfire potential. So Black Dragons, just time now, getting away from them. They need to really make this push happen.
They definitely do. Wang going to be making his way through onto box one, see what he can do here, getting all the way in. This is very aggressive from him, and he's going to get punished for it. Bullet takes him off the board as well. He's got that upstairs control still as GD and PZD make their way into the back site, but there we go. They've got so much control right now as Panaco finds Hogazord, and we're in a very familiar situation to what we saw last time as well. Shotgun holes come out from above, but no, yet again, the exact same way the last round went, Black Dragons win the round.
What I don't get, though, if they're playing for like the upstairs control and they know Black Dragons isn't going for that, just like the last time, why aren't those holes already pre-made? Why does he have to make them every time whenever it gets to that scenario? Why are those not already made? Like, if you look at the one that he messed up on for the second round, it was a very default position, a very default plant spot. Generally, we see that being opened up already in the pre-prep of the round.
That one was a default spot, though. Like, that was kind of a very off-site plant coming out from Black Dragons there, but yeah, I do agree with you. We don't see too much vertical control coming out from MIBR right now, and they are not looking too good here on Border. We'll see an Armory, Lockers, and Archives defense coming through. I was listening to 6-pick from the Ella onto the Mute. I kind of prefer the Mute here to the Ella. Kind of said this isn't really Ella's map whatsoever. As you see the Thatcher, however, coming out from Panico rather than the Sledge, as they're going to realize, of course, it is that Armory wall that they need to get open.
MIBR are really struggling for their defense, and it's very surprising to see. You know, not winning the events is a big surprise. Generally, we see teams like kind of struggle with the third bomb site, that being Customs or the Bathroom and Tellers, but never really for the second one. See if they try and recoup themselves and get over that wall that they're currently struggling with. Black Dragons still not changing up their lineup, sticking with what they have, and if they feel comfortable with it, then who are we to judge? If it works for them, it works. I would like to see a little bit more aggression, though, from MIBR. I feel as if they're giving Black Dragons way too much control to kind of set up. There's been very little movement and, like, kind of positioning changing from MIBR. Just been sat back and sitting and waiting for a push, and whenever that push does come in, for some reason, they're not ready to take it on.
Well, we'll determine what that reason indeed does tend to be, as we'll see MIBR again holding the upstairs. Like, last time this was actually really successful for them. Like, Hogsword managed to absolutely pop off in this corner of Archives, but at the start, things were looking really good for Bot Dragons. They managed to get those couple of opening picks on their side. Well, let's see how things do go down as we move into round number 4. But honestly, I think Black Dragons are in a pretty commanding lead here so far, and they should be able to take Armory here, but we just know that there is someone on these east stairs at the moment. We'll have a look at how Live wants to deal with all of this, but it's be Panico who takes the first kill of the round. There goes Novice already. That's the C4 off the board. And again, like a very, very similar opening pick that did come through last time as well. Novice going to go down very early on, but we'll see. Black Dragons, they wanted to push Office and see what is going on there and just push it to Archives. Kind of the same push they did last time as well. All 5 members still up from Black Dragons, and Nitro is going to go out from Hugzord, but unfortunately not going to hit its target up onto the east stairs there. See Cyber holding down his bullet holes as well, but this is very, very quick progress from Black Dragons. Look at the timer. We're not even halfway through the round yet. We already see that triple getting opened up. We already see a pick on the board from Black Dragons. We already see that Office control going into their favor. What do you think so far, Demo?
Again, Black Dragon just taking their time with how they want to kind of coordinate their pushes. Sure, we've seen Black Dragons get the upper edge and have that first opening kill for them the last time they tried to attack Armory, but we've seen in the end that didn't really matter whenever Black Dragons still crumbled under the pressure of some individual plays from MIBR. And I wonder if Hugzord can try and recreate those. Into Office is where they will try and head, but there's still some control of the corridors that MIBR have from that security hold. MKing with the big gun lying in the back, ready to assist Hugzord if he does get pressured in. And the real thing now, I think, for Black Dragons is being able to capitalize in the position that Hugzord is and really try and shut him down.
GDN is going to be able to find that opening pick as well onto Bullet. He's going to go down, and this is, again, looking very, very similar to the round that we did see from MIBR before. As there we go, Hugzord finds one, but the Maestro does go down this time, as Live is going to take M-King straight off the board. So down to Cyber and Hugzord remaining. Cyber's kind of trapped here in CC, and they're going to know that he's there, as he's going to run all the way across back to box and try and secure this area along with Hugzord. He's going to try aggressively, but what a pick from Hugzord! Oh my god, GDN just gets destroyed! Here's a 3v2, but Live actually does get injured. This is looking very, very good for MIBR.
No, Live's still alive. He has 1 HP, it seems to be, and Hugzord just tearing them limb from limb, and there's Cyber gets the wall bang and wag. They know exactly where he is. Pushes in, but the crossfire's established, and once more, MIBR, they pull it back from the brink of defeat. And you have to question Black Dragons now, James, don't we?
I think this is pure Hugzord, honestly. Like, he's scored some insane kills around that Archives area.
What I don't get is if you're going for a B take, you always need to have somebody on the vent window. You always need to have somebody up there, don't you? That's like the kind of norm. That's B tech standard stuff. And if they're not putting them there, I don't understand why they're not.
Yeah, we haven't seen too many people go to AC window just yet, but also like a Fountain Cross would be good as well. We did see someone was contesting that Fountain Cross at the early part, but at the moment, we'll see how things continue to go down. MIBR still, I mean, you cannot win this map just by winning one site continuously. You've got to go somewhere else. You've got to win a different site as well. You've got to be able to put yourself at a big advantage on that defense. They're going to go to Customs, noticing that that event's defense just hasn't been working for them whatsoever.
So we move into now the Customs. Again, Vent's not working for them. Correct decision, probably. Whenever you lose 2 of those in a row, never really does well for you. Black Dragons clearly having a recipe of disaster. And now they have to take on a 3rd bomb site. This one, though, James, it's a little bit more kind of out there in terms of how you can play it. It kind of provides you with more options compared to Bathroom and Tellers, because I feel for Bathroom, you have to play it in a specific way, and you can't really pull back from it. Like, you can't really come back and think, oh, what if we do this? No, you have to stick with like one frame and one main direction for the most part. And I feel if MIBR don't have like that kind of celerity in how they want to hold down the Bathroom and Tellers, and it feels if they can't really hold it as well, then Customs does give them options. Like, we've seen full man turtles just in security, we've seen extension into armory, we've seen not even people hold that top floor, so it does give a little bit more spice into the mix.
Spice into the mix indeed. We'll have a look what MIBR want to do here generally, but Black Dragons have been pretty strong on these attacks so far. Even though they've kind of thrown their Archives attack a couple of times here, they've still done really, really well. Nice drone on that kind of archway up there as well. It's going to give a lot of info for MIBR to be able to see what's going on up into Officer's side. But this is a very kind of loose defense coming out from MIBR so far. Bullet is able to hold on to Armory. That's cutting off this cross as well. That's allowing them to continue to hold on to CC. MIBR still looking pretty good though. However, there we go. Cyber is going to pick up that opening frag live. It's going to go down early on. That should twitch off the board. Not a massive utility pick, but a pick nonetheless. And definitely one of the bigger fraggers coming up from Black Dragons.
That's the Twitch gun. That's one of the main guys that we've kind of discussed upon. PZD looking entry in towards Office, does light up Novi's through the wall. Well done to him, but Novi's just responds with a quick headshot on PZD. He hits the floor.
Oh my god. The bullet holes, the passionate angles, of course, coming through here from MIBR across the board. Black Dragons find themselves at a bit of a disadvantage moving through this round. This may just be the site that MIBR needed to defend, that they needed to go to hold it all down. They find themselves in a 3v5. Blood Dragons really strangling to try and get some sort of response, but Cyber is not going to let them have it. He puts down Panico, and another one from Cyber. What just happened? Cyber gets a triple kill to end it flawlessly for MIBR. I want to see this happen in the replay as Cyber just absolutely demolishes everyone coming out from Black Dragons across the board. Cyber is just a man that has been fragging out of his mind recently. Throw back to the Team 1 game, and he was dismantling them on his attacks with Zofia, so this is looking much, much better for MIBR. They do have to find one more round if they want to kind of make that 4-2 even split, but we have seen Border being pretty 50-50 more recently, honestly. So might not be too bad at all as we go to another vents room and workshop. And, you know, this has played out the exact same time, the exact same way, the 2 times that we've seen this so far, so, like, I'm not feeling good here for MIBR.
Is the vibe not feeling good?
It's not. They failed the vibe check.
Wow, how can you fail the vibe check in front of the king vibester himself?
It just happens sometimes, you know?
Does it just
some
happen?
people just not vibing with this. They're not vibing with the site demo.
Am I vibing?
You're
Got a
vibing.
good vibe going on?
We got a good vibe.
That's all I need to hear. I'm always vibing, you know? Always there. Just like a leaf in the wind.
Something that you mentioned last time about, like, these upstairs holes not being made properly.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, there's been, like, a lot of off-site planting coming out from Black Dragons. Like, they've been kind of trying to avoid those default plants. I know you said that the first time they attacked it, they did plant in a very default spot, but the second time, that behind the desk, that is not a default spot to plant. So I think, like, Black Dragons are becoming very aware of the strategy that's coming through. And honestly, you know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I think Black Dragons are going to continue to try and push customs and go into the back of workshop.
Yeah, the fact that they've switched off the sledge and brought on the ash means that they have no intention whatsoever of going upstairs because they lack the destructibility that they can then provide and try and eliminate some of the anchors. And it's more of a question down to MIBR. How are you allowing Dragons just to walk in through the main door? Like, how do you let that happen? Shouldn't you just try and hunker down? I think it's the fact that I'm pretty sure they reinforced the sight hatch. That's like the big misstep for them, because that's what they did the second round, the second time around. And I wonder if they'll leave it soft this time, and that actually gives them a little bit more comfort, I feel, in the bomb site.
I honestly kind of would like to see someone try and bandit trick onto Armory Wall. I know it's kind of maybe suicidal to do, but Black Dragons don't really bring anything to deal with that, and they've not brought the Thatcher every single time they've gone vents. So, see how things do go down. As Panico makes his way into Tellers, he's going to open up everything up here. You know, and also very smartly taking cover behind the vending machine when he does it.
Alright. MIBR setting up. Pretty standard, pretty B-Tech, just like they've done in the past. It will be, however, a teller's take from Dragons. We have not seen this from them so far, and they take Office and try and shut down anybody playing the hatch there, but the fact that Live is by himself, I'm not a big fan of, because nobody's there to go for the refrags if he tries to enter on in. Let's make sure he lands those shots. Wag also just patrolling in towards the corridors, using the air jams, making sure nobody can go for the flanks. But MIBR, they're happy enough to let them have it. They're just chilling.
The thing is about, like, Live's position right now, he's being backed up as Panico manages to find his entry all the way from Tellers. As you said, Demo, we haven't really seen this too much before, but Hugzod's very, very aware of this kind of push coming through. Panico still holding it down and should be actually ashing his way all the way up into sight, as Hugzod still getting a bit worried about what's happening right now. Black Dragons are starting to do the work to try and get the site, but actually now we see GDN has managed to rotate all the way through here as well, but they desperately need to deal with Hugzord if they want to make something happen here. Drones are going to go out in heavy amounts, and they should be able to drone out this bathroom and see if there is indeed anyone holding above here. But of course, right above them, there is soft destruction available, and they do have that upstairs hold. Flashbangs are going to go down as well, and Hugzord's going to go full white. That is a disaster for him, as there we go. No, he doesn't go down. What? GDN goes down instead, and from above, however, there goes the refrag. But what a disaster coming up for Black Dragons. How do you lose your thermite like that?
Still fine, though. It's still fine. Maybe not so much as Cyber. He's on it again. He's looking for the kills. He's looking for the frags and trying to give his team an even better step up to success. Still 2 players alive in sight. You have Novice and Bullet, both as C4s ready to rock and roll. PZD trying to find that single man upstairs, and Waigi's look for a different approach in towards the main hallway. He goes, and he will be rewarded with 1. Now it's down to Novice. He has diffuser control. He just has the hide. He has to run away. The pings come in. Oh, and he wins it down to time. MIBR, Novice especially. What a flank from the man, and he eliminates the said planter in bathroom, leaves it cold on the floor. The 2 remaining members nowhere near him, and that's the big blunder. Black Dragons, they did not coordinate enough, and they were not grouped up to be able to get the plant down.
Cannot understand why you would send your thermite into that position.
By himself.
Yeah.
You don't leave a thermite by himself. Perhaps they were trying to bait off, okay, let's just go for the kills.
Yeah, I mean, we had the vertical play getting opened up, and again, I feel like from from Black Dragons, like, just a little bit of, like, miscoordination on their part to be able to open up that vertical play and try and stop him. Like, Castle, Hugzord was flashed in that position. Like, he was full white. I feel like Panico could have gone in there and he could have done some damage there. Like, I feel like there's just such a dangerous position to put your thermite into before he's got that wall open. Well, regardless of that, we'll see Black Dragons. They're going to move on to the defense, but I'd say things looking pretty good so far for MIBR in terms of round count.
Looking great. And I feel that Border is attacker-sided.
Really?
I think about teams who are really well coordinated, who have great fraggers. Border is so simple to play. So simple, and a team who knows how to play it well just excel in this scenario for the attack. You think about how generic it is, how easy it is. If you look at an armory, as an attacker you think, right, let's take security, there's going to be 2 guys there, let's send in our main guys. If we take a 2-for-1 trade, that's great. You open up the wall, and you literally just plant. It's so easy and simple to do. So easy.
Yeah, it is. I guess, like, Border is one of those bread and butter maps as well.
It is.
I think we said that pretty much the entire tournament.
Tier 3 domain.
It's just like one of those maps like everyone should know what to do. A lot of the executes are pretty basic, as you mentioned. So I guess in that kind of way it could be attacker sided, but I think the defense still have a lot going for them. But either way, MIBR at a 4-2 advantage right now. Things are looking pretty good for them so far.
Okay, Black Dragons on the defense. First up, they have Love Acox bringing the Dock, which is an operator that didn't really feature for MIBR, and I'd imagine that's probably due to kind of how they're holding it with this security hold. Like, I've seen people get down in behind like the computer desk and security, and Doc from across Wen Armory has stemmed them back up to life, because that's just like the power that he can provide with, of course, he's a doctor. He's kind of designed for that, isn't he, to heal his teammates up. Remember old Doc back in the day?
Sometimes to save a life, you have to take one, and Panico's indeed going to be doing that. Cyber does go down early on, and a great angle being held by Panico up onto that break room door. This is such a hard area to contest. We've seen this so many times recently.
I don't think MIBR are really concerned about Office. The way that they have everybody set up, Navi's on the sandwich rappel, kind of leads me to believe they're going to enter in towards Armory. But nobody from MIBR are geared up to try and take security, first of all. M-King is on East Stairs, patrolling. Hugzord is now rotating down, so they have 2 of them stationed, but they need another one. They need M-King to try and apply some pressure and allow his teammates to have a better time of taking security, because at the moment, Novi's, he's kind of out of the fight. He's just there. He's holding angles. He's not really doing much.
Yeah, Novi's going to try and open up what he can so far, of course, on that AC. Something we didn't really see too much of coming from Black Dragons, but talking about MIBR, they find themselves at a man disadvantage still. Cyber, course, off the board early on from great panic from Panico. We'll see what MIBR want to do as he go into the round. Bullet almost finding the head there of PZD, but not able to find anything going through just yet. And there goes your AC unit control as Panico does manage to take Novice off the board and turns this into a 3v5. Only 40 seconds left to go on the clock. Hugzord trying to make his way in here, does have the diffuser in hand. teammates right behind him as well.
Looking for an option now for MIBR to try and pull them in, but Black Dragons, they're not budging. They're not giving them anything to go off as PZD nearly gives himself up.
Low. He's so low HP, but
There's
he's
the
going to get
dark.
ducked.
Yep,
Hey.
that's why they bring that.
There you go, that's why they bring it. Bullet's going to be able to make his way through onto office, however, as Hugzod tries to make his way in, but Bullet does find Live. This should be an easy plant from MIBR if they play their cards right. But only a few seconds left to go on the clock. The Wag just peek around as well. There goes Diffuser, and there goes the rest of the attack from MIBR as Blood Dragons take the round 7, and Panico with a 4K as well. Absolute great work from the Doctor.
First defense, first win on that side for Dragons, and now we move into round number 8, which should be the Vents hold, I'd imagine, and yes, it will be. So that armory just kind of broke down. Honestly, it never really got on the road for MIBR. It just never really got there. Straight away, they lost some players, and it just kind of broke down. They never had any lay-in towards that. They tried to push Office, like, kinda, but it was never like a real side push that we were like, oh, that's pretty good. Just was there.
They never took Panico off the board, and that was the huge mistake coming out from them. Like, I guess you could say mistake, but you could just say like unfortunate that they didn't manage to get him off the board. You saw like Black Dragons' attack was all about getting that triple wall open and pushing through, and honestly, Black Dragons' attack was going way better than MIBR's attack there. Despite the fact that they both failed in the end, Black Dragons had way more control over that area. Like, they opened up triple wall, they got control of there, they managed to open up the archives wall. They didn't have anyone AC, which was probably the biggest mistake from their side, but yeah, I mean, I feel like Black Dragons have just been a little bit more coordinated than MIBR have, but MIBR are, I think, in terms of fragging power, a little bit of an advantage here. Especially, like, I really want to see Cyber step up here, because we've seen Cyber really be a top dominant player. We did see him step up on the defense during Jaeger. Let's see if he can do something now as we move into round number 8.
10 seconds.
Need more from him. Need to see a heck of a lot more if he wants to try and get his
5
team
seconds left before
to
insertion.
join Liquid at the finals. So Black Dragon's taking up the mantle in towards Vents, not bringing Castle, which was an operator that kind of featured for MIBR, and I'm pretty sure Smoke wasn't at all being brought by MIBR either. They didn't really favor that operator. They were more about like the Mozzie kind of play, which was strange to me.
Yeah. I don't necessarily think the Smoke is even really like that amazing here. He does serve his purpose, and he's kind of one of those default
Smoke's a
ops to
smoke,
be
innit?
brought. But yeah, I can definitely see, like, I don't think it's a mistake to not bring a Smoke here at all. I don't think there's anything like too wrong with that. We'll have a look what MIBR want to do here for their attack. Bringing a very similar lineup to what Blood Dragons were in their attacks. I think like the inclusion of the Twitch here from both teams is very interesting.
I'm guessing it's for sheer fragging potential, and we know Novice, he can provide that with the F2. We've seen what he did against Team 1 with that gun. Decimation, got an ace from it. Still though, for Black Dragon, sitting tight inside of security along with Armory. This is the classic kind of play where you have the Maestro camera on that double wall, and Armory, open it up. You can see right down towards the balcony, and then from there, relays information, gives PZD and Live a little bit more information that they can go off.
Nice smoke coming out from Live to be able to put out that break room door. And of course, very early smoke coming out from him, but I don't think he's playing it for the plunger now. He's mainly just playing it so that he can play his life in the break room and do whatever he can there. Live still playing around onto CC and see what he can do here. He's opening up a little bit of angle for himself and continuing to smoke out break door, but it's going to be Novice who picks the first kill of the roundup.
Just hunting for another. Maestro in behind half wall is who he's looking for. He's not budging either. He's just playing the time. Knows he has it in his control, and Novice has to sit and wait. Elsewhere, Live has fell back in towards Armory along with Wag, so security now has been gave up and gives MIBR what they wanted, but all of a sudden they're shifting towards the B. Are they going to try and do what Dragons did to them and actually just try and rush on in? Panic goes on for the flank, and this should be a secure kill. Yes, it will be. Nobody holding it there from MIBR. That's quite surprising. Nomad not being able to get down in their job in the east is a big blunder.
Yeah, huge mistakes coming out here all of a sudden, but there we go, Live being able to pick up the down, and GDM picks up the kill. Oh, what a shot from Live! Takes Hugzod straight off the board, and the final smoke will be deployed outside the main door. Cyber left alone in a 1v4. He's pulled off incredible things before. Let's see if he can do anything else. He's going to rotate his push all the way through his passport, but Panico is going to be waiting for him there indeed. If he does want to do anything here, he's going to impact his way up into passport and see what he can do with only 25 seconds left remaining on the clock. And actually, Cyber's going to make his way into customs. This is a very smart rotate coming out from him as he makes it open, but no, pushes the passport door, and Panago takes him down. Black Dragon's take round about 8. A very nice round, almost a flawless round coming out from them, honestly. It was like a very, very coordinated, very, very aggressive. Few mistakes from MIBR coming out, not able to shut down that roam game. And yeah, I mean, they're looking pretty good on these defenses.
Can they hold it together and go for a third bomb site? Customs now for Dragons. So they have equaled the scoring, but still have yet to go for this bomb site. MIBR, all of a sudden in their attacks, not looking too strong, which I'm really surprised about. We seen them absolutely decimate Team 1. 6-0 attack on Coastline against that team was nothing short of a miracle and was really impressive. And it's really strange to see MIBR not bring that kind of same fire. We know they survived relegations. They literally have nothing else to play for. But then again, neither do Dragons.
Yeah, I suppose that's very true. We're going to try number 9, however. I mean, this is for all the marbles, as we said previously. This is a land spot on the line. This is a 75k prize pool on the line. This is an invitational spot, pretty much on the line at this point, really. But getting into round number 9, we'll see what things go down. But MIBR been pretty disappointing during their attack so far. But don't forget, this is Black Dragon's map pick, and you're thinking that now MIBR, if they take this to Villa, potentially we see go things in their favor. Although, like, I don't think MIBR would be that coordinated during their attacks, and Villa, very, very hard map to attack.
Yeah, for the most part, it's depends on bans again, I think, like Clubhouse, what's open to you. Sometimes we see hard breacher bans in Villa. Just whatever really happens. But we'll try and stay here with Border. And still, MIBR are looking to try and send their way into another nice round lead as they will take on the Customs attack. I'm curious to see how Black Dragons will respond to the kind of structured layout that MIBR go for. You know, they're very precise in the way they kind of have everybody stationed. I would, again, like to see more aggression, similar to what we seen last round, where the Jaeger just flanked up E-stairs with no real care in the world, took the opportunity, and that was an easy lockout from them.
Well, they know that someone is indeed going to be impact tricking onto detention, but it's going to get opened up regardless of that. Good coordination from MIBR to stop that impact tricking coming down, and Novice, again, to pick up the opening kill of the round. Panaco going to be going down, however, that is a massive pick considering that that's a nitro off the board, but also Panaco being a very big player for Black Dragons on defense.
Has indeed, and Wag is also nearing the edge of death as MIBR, they're just going to walk in. They're trying to go for the aggressive plays, and Wag should be cut out here. Yes, he will be, as he has been completely crushed by so many players of MIBR. Live does bring one back in, but there's Novice with the trade out. What a play from PZD. Goes for the Hail Mary jump out, but the refresh should be there. No, still wall bangable, and Live is still alive also. PZD now just in 1v2 and gets slaughtered inside a jail. Oh boy, MIBR, that was close.
Almost a really good retake coming out from PZD there through detention. Picked up a couple of kills for himself, but couldn't make it work in the end. MIBR finally find their first round in attack here on Border as we push into round number 10. And Black Dragon surely going to go back to an Armory Lockers and Archives defense.
It's very LATAM-esque, wasn't it, that round?
What, the whole... I mean, like, jumping out and rotating to detention, we've seen from other regions do it as well. But yeah, like, the whole... Get in there, just kill them all, just get that control, just force your way in.
Not caring about security, just go straight in, free them stacking up.
I mean, that's like not a bad way to play that kind of attack.
It's risky, but whenever you have the manpower and the fragging potential that we know MIBR have, and it's quite similar to actually what they did against Team 1. How many times do we see MIBR just walk in and kill everybody?
Yeah, especially during like kitchen attacks on cosign. Yeah. I mean, they just did not care about any kind of vertical play that was coming in at all. They just pushed really deep into size. So, MIBR, we're starting to see some sort of segments of their old self here, but we'll have a look at how this is going to be starting to play out as we move back to Armory Lockers and Archives. It was a very decisive defense coming out from Black Dragons here, but I think honestly mostly into the favor of Panaco with his 4K here last time.
Still feel as if last round MIBR didn't have like an actual clear thought process in what they wanted to go for.
I think like their whole idea was to get into Break Room, clear CC and go to Armory, but then Panaco got that opening pick and they decided to rotate through East Stairs and onto Office, but they couldn't get that triple wall open because they were trying to get the Armory wall open earlier. and it all just kind of like fell apart. Like an opening pick can really put a kind of wrench in your gears.
And that's been like the main thing we've talked about tonight as well. You look
Yeah.
back at our previous series, it was all about who had that early kill, who had that momentum straight off the rip. So Black Dragon setting up exactly the same. Some security, Panico again. Sandwich wall isn't reinforced though, so you have to be careful of that one. If we do see a full east side take coming in from MIBR, and instead they want to try and pressure office rather than security, he just has to be a little bit more cautious. And Navi's opening kill, which is what we've talked about, and quite a big one, Maestro.
Yeah, yet again, like really good opening picks again coming out from Novice across the board. He's definitely doing the work on that F2. That is Twitch's utility, basically.
The utility is the gun.
Yes. So we'll still have to see the CC hold start to get dismantled by MIBR. But a Maestro opening pick onto WAG, definitely a good way to start off here. But MIBR had a big issue trying to deal with Panico in office last time.
Still, MIBR looking for more kills, and they do get it down on the PZD, but Live gets the refrag back. Definitely Panico was a little bit closer. He's all the way in office, and unless he wants to rotate around and try and pick him up, I don't think PZD will be in a position to get back into the fight. Live still trying to hold it down as much as he can, and flashbangs and bullets just fire on through, and Cyber, another kill for him. And all of a sudden, it's a 4v2 pretty much. I don't think that PZD is going to be picked up. Panico still trying to fire on through in towards the office again, like he did previously, but Black Dragons, they've lost their security hold, and it should be an easy retake for MIBR in towards the bomb site, but still, Dragons, they have a little bit of potential of Panico and GDN ready to go with their guns.
I like that smoke from GDN, and so I allowed him to rotate all the way through, back into sight, and MIBR still looking for their picks and still looking to get in, but there goes PZD, he will bleed out. And MIBR find themselves in a 3v2. This is looking very, very good for MIBR, but we've seen similar situations for Black Dragons during their attacks, and it was kind of all thrown away in the end, really, as we'll see MIBR looking to try and push up onto that armory wall, but GDN is ready for them, it looks like, as Panico is also ready to try and cover down this flank up onto that metal stairs. We do still have the Maestro cam up that was turned toward metal before the Maestro did go down. So, honestly, Panico shouldn't have to worry about this kind of angle too much, as MIBR 20 seconds left to go on the clock. They need to start to push in so far. Don't have too many smokes remaining from GDN. He's lost quite a lot of control here. That is the last Toxic Babe, of course, going out. But the rappel comes in for Bullet, and he goes down for it. GDN playing very, very close with the shotgun here. Goes for the prone angle as well. Panico backing him up as well. The shotgun prone angle takes one down, but not another just yet. Turns into 1v1. It's all down to M King, but he's got to plant the diffuser. And Panico surely should be easily able to pick up this kill. Oh, unlucky.
Still won the round. Black Dragons, they win down to time.
Yeah,
and
but
what a retake.
It's all about the stats, Demo.
Oh, give over. That's him playing for his stats right there. That's what M King was doing.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate for Panico that he decided to play for his stats, but
I don't think they're playing for stats here, James. They're playing for a spot to go to Croatia.
but also the stats.
No, James. They're playing for a spot for the money.
You got to make sure that your Siege GG is looking like Christmas.
Did they even cover this? I don't think they do.
Maybe if they cover it retroactively, you don't know.
Don't even cover Prem, bro.
It's unfortunate for Prem. As we get into round number 11, however, as we go to events room and workshop defense coming through now, MIBR looking a bit squiffy all of a sudden. I mean, this is neck and neck right now. I mean, this is kind of how we were expecting things to go on border. Very kind of like 50-50.
I like that word you use, because that's like a word I would use. That's like kind of my, yeah. I would usually go for the skew whiff, though.
Skew whiff.
Yeah.
Scooby-Doo.
Another one of my favorites.
So,
We all have our kind of individual lines, don't we?
yes, definitely.
We always do.
So, getting into round number 11, and things so far looking okay for Black Dragons. They've held this quite aggressively.
Yes, which I like. I think that border, you need to add that little bit of flavor into it. You need to have a better recipe for success. And overall for the defense, they do have some great potential of crossfires, because it is a very small map. Similar to like Console, for example, crossfires are everything. You need to be able to have that refrag potential. And I think both teams have done that quite well. They've been very even, right down to the wire for the most part. And just another great best-of-3 series, James. And I think we could be on for another free mapper.
We definitely could be. This has been a very, very, very close, and I kind of feel like even if MIBR drop this, they should be able to pick up Clubhouse. That could send us all the way to Villip. It's going to be live. He picks up the opening frag of the round already. Bullet down and off the board. An insanely aggressive peek coming out from live. Like, this is a smoke with SMG-11 in hand as Panico finds one of his own. And this is looking like a very quick round already as MIBR have lost their opening frags early on. Panico going to return back down to site, however, as Cyber makes his way into waiting room. It looks like a teller's push from MIBR here, as they've got a lot of control over the east stairs.
So, MIBR now, they're on a very heavy back foot. Try and pull this back in. Will be a tough one, as Black Dragons, we know, are a solid team and can hold their nerve whenever going gets tough. Another Maestro camera to give the information, and, well, information being fed right to the LMG, who peeks on up, eliminates Cyber. It looks to be a Black Dragons, another round for them. MIBR not even getting out of the racetrack. They are just sitting in the stables. And yeah, just very disappointing round for them. Hugsword just walks on in, another kill for the Maestro, and, well, M-King, get some kills for you, bro. Play the stats, as James would say. And flawless for Black Dragons. What a quick round. Wasn't expecting that one.
Just some really early aggression that went into their way, especially Panico getting his pick as well, turning into a 3v5, and like Novice losing that opening duel really puts Black Dragons here on the upper foot. So we'll see match point now to Black Dragons, but one round away from MIBR bringing this in, and of course we have to now go to the offsite of customs inspections and supply room. Black Dragons, this is not looking good for them, but if they go to OT, they do get defense first, and their defense has been pretty solid so far. So they shouldn't be too worried about this round.
I don't know. We could easily just see Black Dragons go ahead and win this. We could easily see that, James.
Yeah. Yeah, we could see that, of course, but we'll have a look how that is going to go down. As we'll see customs inspections and supply room defense. And if you remember from last time, this was a pretty dominant round for MIBR. They managed to kind of frag out, managed to get control of supply room very, very early on through detention. We did see an attempted retake coming out from PZD with a jump out all the way from CC back into detention, but wasn't able to make it work completely. And MIBR did manage to clinch in the round. This is MIBR's only attack win.
It needs to be another one for them, though, if they want to at least have some fight about it. They really need to get this round to pull themselves in it. And if they lose the first map, well, sure, there is still potentially 2 more to go for them. But you always want to get that first map there. You want to be that 1-0 position. So you have that map advantage. You can kind of sit back a little bit more. You have to be on edge as much. Still, of course, you're going to be tense enough because it is a spot for a LAN event. And we know what stage is like. Very few LAN events in terms of international stage. And you want to make sure you get there. Great exposure for your team and organization. And, of course, that spot for the Invitational is the big one.
Definitely is the big one. See how things do go down as we move into round number 12, the last round of regulation. Have a look how that is going to be playing out. Black Dragons, again, going to be holding pretty aggressively here. We do see Live making his way onto 90 as well to see what he can do there. We don't actually see too many people actually inside itself. If you remember last time, Black Dragons tried to do this impact trick strategy on detention, and it just did not work at all often. Like, Hugsor was able to tuck his thermite charge all the way in the bottom left of the detention wall, and at that point, very, very hard to impact trick, but at that time as well, we also had MIBR throwing multiple flashbangs over to stop him from impact tricking that at all. We'll see what kind of push MIBR want to go for here this time, but it doesn't look like they're going for that detention side at all.
So it is gonna be for Black Dragons, their customs defense. Again, holding towards security. A couple of roamers loose towards workshop, but have been spotted out by a drone. I wonder if MIBR will try and capitalize on that, and yes, they will do. Novi's walks straight in. Takes a lot of damage for it, though, but still ends up with the kill on the Panico. So it gives them that early start. But like we know Black Dragons, they have that clutch potential. Even whenever they are down a man, they can still pull it out of nowhere. Walls being reinforced, it means that Cyber cannot open up in towards that metal stairs and give him and his team a way in to try and frag out.
They calling for a thermite to rotate here and try and get it all open, but GDN pulling this very, very aggressively, or maybe he's just calling it out that it is being opened up. See, drones are going to go in heavy amounts. MIBR have got the opening frag, but other than that, don't actually have a huge amount of control. But there we go, Hugsor is actually going to move all the way to the CC wall. He's going to be able to get this open. This should be able to him getting everything controlled, but Live looking the wrong way down the traffic and going to get slammed for it as Cyber picks up a kill of his own. GDN and Wag left remaining on the board with 1 minute left to go on the clock. Plenty of time for MIBR to start to dismantle this defense.
MIBR basically need to throw to give Black Dragons his first map win. But who knows? We've seen wild stuff happen before, but MIBR definitely looking in good shape. They have a massive man advantage. They have control of what they wanted. Now it's down to Black Dragon to see how they can retake. Creeping in, Wag will try and utilize this wall being opened up and does eliminate one. Now that's Bullet gone, and GDN the only man on site now as Wag will look to try and drop back in to contest with his teammate. But still, it's going to be that A-bomb site that MIBR are dealing with, and they're trying to pressure that.
Nitro is going to go out. It's going to open up a bit of a sightline as a supply room here. This could be Wag to be able to deny the plant from going down. 15 seconds left to go on the clock, and there has to be a plant to go down, but there we go. There goes the bandit, and it's all down to GDN to try and bring this in. He does find one onto Cyber, however, brings the shotgun out, goes sprinting through the door, and gets slammed down by M King. That's going to bring us into overtime already on our very first map of this series.
Already, an overtime it is, but it is border. We're expecting this to go the full distance between both of these teams, so evenly matched as it is. And now MIBR, they will start on the attack, and Black Dragons, they get the defense. Now, if you're MIBR, you're worrying.
You would be worried indeed. We're going to go to an Armory Lockers and Archives defense once again. Black Dragons at a big advantage here, because of course, they haven't lost Armory Lockers yet, and they haven't lost the workshop either. They haven't lost workshop events, so they can go to, even if they lose their attacking round, which, you know, could be out there, could be not, but look at that from Panico. 15-6, just doing the work today. I mean, he's had some incredible plays so far. I think kind of one of the more defining plays was the 4K and Pin Office holding that all down, but other than that, you know, he's had some pretty good plays over the board. So we'll have a look how this is going to go down. MIBR desperately need an attack win.
Desperately is a bit of an understatement.
What would you say?
It's a life or death scenario right now.
Yes.
They just... It's everything. It's everything to them. And if they do not break this attack right here, right now for the Black Dragons defense, I think they're going to lose map 1. I really don't see them winning 2 attacks, never mind the 1.
Yeah, I mean, don't forget, I think, like, MIBR would be fine pushing this to Decider. Obviously, like, they're not going to drop a map for no reason, but if they do lose border, it's not the end of the world for them. They do have Clubhouse, they do have Villa on the board as well as Decider. Things could definitely go well for them on those 2 maps, but let's have a look how we do go through. It is going to be overtime in the very first round outside of regulation. We'll have a look at what Blood Dragons want to do here. Looks like pretty much the same haul coming out from them. MIBR got very close to dismantling this though last time.
Black Dragons, not going for, like, the Maestro camera. There he goes. He just took a little time to make that happen. So he's going to sit probably behind half wall again. No Capitao to worry about since it was banned by themselves. And just gives them that power position. Now they're 2 men in security. So we've seen this before from Black Dragons. This is nothing out of the ordinary. And if we've seen it before, James, and this is what we expect, then surely you would expect MIBR, the pro teams, to have an idea what Dragons are going to set up.
So this is looking a bit squiffy so far for MIBR, as they've not got too much control. They have got triple wall open, however, and this is like what Black Dragons were doing. They got the triple wall open, they managed to push through Office, they got that area, they got the Archives wall open. That's where things started to flounder a bit, but those steps in order make a lot more sense than what they were doing before.
Still, though, for MIBR, they haven't got anything on the board that they can really play off. They're going for a hard Office. And this is something that Black Dragons do in their attacks for Armory, and they had a lot of issues with Hugzord specifically, and nobody really from Dragons is going to be in a great position to try and deny access to the wall being opened up. We do see rotation below by a Mute, so a C4 potential, that could be an option to try and blow up Hugzord as he tries to go for the wall, and you can quickly see the rotation, but just too slow it seems to be. And yeah, Hugzord, he lives to fight another day.
Oh, what? Impact trick from, oh no, the Nitro trick from below is going to deny the Thermite charge. So that is a massive play coming out from Live, denying that Archives wall from getting opened up. That may have just won them the round.
How did that happen? I'm pretty sure the Thermite charge exploded possibly like a millisecond right before the C4. So that was right on the edge.
It was one of those fixing C4s that fixes the wall.
Really weird, but still, new operator leak. Is that what you're saying, James? But still, yeah, MIBR. Now they have to force their way in. through towards concrete. They don't have anybody in ventilation room window. I don't get what that is. Why is nobody over towards the massive unit? That gives you that complete cross. Oh, but Bullet, just out of nowhere, he appears, he picks up a double kill. There is still a man right beside the planner, but that smoke, he's lying in the smoke. There's Nomad gone, now it's a 2v1. And Cyber, he's been downed, and Black Dragons, they clean up the defense. MIBR, I think you may have fluffed it.
Almost a huge throw though by Black Dragons there, like losing the smoke early on like that and losing that fountain control. That was a big mistake from them. But we'll see. Black Dragons are going to move on to the attack. They're on match point now once again. Let's see if they can indeed close it out. MIBR not looking like in a good place. They need this defense to get them in the round, but they need to win the vents attack as well. And well, things are looking very good for Black Dragons to take this. So, we'll see. And Armory Lockers and Archives defense, of course, coming out here from MIBR. And honestly, like, these have been some pretty impressive defenses from them. They've had Hugzord on that mute, which I'm hoping he's going to be bringing here on the 6th pick. Just playing into the corner of Archives, and he's been able to get so many picks doing that. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, so now you look at Armory for MIBR. They have had an alright time. They haven't lost it on the 2 times that they did go here. It was the vents that was like the main issue. Not going for vents, they only have 1 defense in overtime because they started on the attack first. This should be a lockout. We should be going to the full overtime max point. But then you kind of think about Dragons and they get a defense then, and it's the vents as well, which Dragons, they also have not lost that defense whenever they played it. So I don't know MIBR if they can really pull this off, but they still have to try and get this defense out of the way from it. To be fair, both times it came down to Hugzord playing out of his skull.
10 seconds left.
One of the issues I'm kind of having at the moment with what is going on for Black Dragons is that they haven't pushed anyone to AC. They do all the steps correctly up until they start to push into Archives. And somehow, 2 rounds in a row, they've let Hugzord absolutely punish them for it completely. And I'm not saying that Hugzord's like, you know, he shouldn't be allowed to do that. Like, he played that very, very well.
No, he should not be allowed to do that.
But he should not be allowed to.
Yeah, because whenever a man is playing right beside a breach, all it takes is 1 man going to the AC unit window.
I think this is why Black Dragons have brought nades this time, rather than Twitch, which
Pretty
I
sure
think
they
is
had nades last time as well.
Very good change.
Did they not? Did they not have nades last time?
Pretty sure they brought Twitch both times.
Yeah, they did. I just think it's down to nobody playing over towards the window on AC.
Yeah.
That's a big thing. Both teams kind of fell into that trap. You cannot go for an Office B take unless you have a man on that window. You can't do it. You need to have that crossfire coverage.
So, pretty heavy droning coming out from Black Dragons, making sure that no one is holding on to this double door onto Red Hallway. Just from the offices there. Also droning coming out, of course, and they've got plenty of time still to work with here for whatever they want to do. They get triple wall, and it's going to get opened up very early on. And they should be able to get a lot of control because no one's holding aggressively in offices from MIBR, unlike Black Dragons, who often did play Panico in there on the dock.
Okay, Dragons. How are you going to try and break this defense from MIBR? You're doing the exact same thing again, where you take control of East, you try and push in from Armory, you have the lone man in the form of Wag. I think he's just here to try and pick up like a couple of stragglers in towards security, because both teams, they have held security really well and have put a lot of emphasis on it. Black Dragons just entering on in towards the office to open up the wall. C4 being prepped by Hugzord, but has been droned out, so he can't go for that anymore, and Thermite Charge gets placed. And that will be opened up. Hugzord, C4 gets tossed in, but it actually gets caught, I think, on the top beam.
Yeah, it looks like nades have gone out. Hugzord's 1 HP! Are you kidding me right now? How does that happen? He's going to die from it, and he's just going to accept his fate, it looks like.
Why'd you say that? You cursed it, James. Well done.
It's unfortunate. Well, Hugzord's finally going to be removed off the board, and this was the obstacle that Black Dragons could just never cross, but now they finally crossed it. Let's see how the rest of their attack does indeed go through. We do see this Maestro Cam still up on the board, but there we go. The Thatcher's going to go through it, and that should be removed off the board, but GDN and Live are both injured. What just happened?
Cyber kind of out of nowhere. He's just appeared, and this has completely shut down the attack for Dragons. They have no more control of Office. One of them is towards security. One of them is outside of the window. This is going to be another round for MIBR where they have basically won it off the back of a great play by an individual player. So we go full max overtime, Jane, for the first map on border. But Dragons, they get the defense.
But there must be a winner. There must be a winner. Dragons indeed do get that defense.
If you want, we'll do infinite OT.
Okay, let's do it. I've got all night.
I don't think it's our decision, though, is it?
No, unfortunately not. But we are going to be going to that events room, and workshop defense so far has been flawless for Black Dragons. I feel like, though, that last time this was kind of a throw that we saw this attack go down. I don't know. MIBR definitely can work on some things here, but we'll have a look how this is going to be going down. Panico, just an insane 16 and 8.
It's the main man. You have to kill him if you want to get this map underneath your belt. Still, up in the air, I think. Was kind of expected. And, oh look, MIBR, they've hit the big red panic button. DEFCON 1 is now in effect.
Is that a panic button?
Attackers need
Whenever I see somebody last pick a lion on the final round without bringing it at all, that's a panic.
Attackers have discovered the location of a bomb.
I think Black Dragons have had a really spread out defense, honestly. I think the Lion could be a really good pick here, depending on the drone work from MIBR and how quickly they're able to move off of it. Because obviously those Lion scans have been severely nerfed since Lion came out, and you have to be very, very quick to respond to it. So we'll have a look how it's going to be going down. We'll have a bit of a peek into the strategy from MIBR, but from the operator pick, it should seem kind of obvious that this kind of like Lion, Zofia, Twitch push is just going to get quick control. Like the few times they've attacked this before, when like from both teams really, they've opened up the armory wall, but they haven't managed to take a lot of control over that area. They've kind of just fallen off and they've gone to customs instead and tried to take control of that area from the back of workshop. It's had mixed results so far.
Yeah. Curious though to see how they will actually excel while bringing the Lion. I think it puts a lot of pressure though on Dragons to have that like new thing they have to go up against. Probably one they're not expecting for the most part. It still feels as if though Dragons, they have it in the bag. They get the defense. MIBR have struggled. But this time around though, they have went for a different push. They have decided to try and come in via customs. So I feel as if they may be looking to kind of do similar to what Dragons had done on some of their attacks. And that is just try and walk into the site and avoid any confrontation upstairs.
Zofias are going to be going out as well onto Archives, getting open in that Archives wall up into Armory, and they should have a good idea of all the defenses coming through here. Cyber going to be trying to get his opening pick as well, but they have a lot of drones and they have a lot of info on what's going on to the site. I like this position from Novice as well. This is completely cutting off the rotates into site as well. But he knows there's people above up in customs, in CC, sorry.
Looking for the first pick. Again, it comes back to what we've talked about today. Whoever has that first pick always seems to have a little bit more life around them. Gives them that entry in and can really utilize the extra manpower that they gain. Still though, MIBR, not a lot happening. Looking as if they're trying to also pressure upstairs and the quick dash around from M-King. And they're really trying to go for the Maestro, but he's just fragging out. Waggy doesn't care. Eventually gets straight out by Bullet, who swung in through Sandwich. And nobody covering the Maestro is really surprising. They had somebody upstairs and it was live. And since then, he's trying to rotate away. Cyber inside of Archives. So upstairs for the first time has actually been taken by an attacking side. But how is this going to affect the long-term game, James?
We've still got the CC control from Black Dragons here, so they should be able to flank if they did indeed choose to do so. Live and PZD both holding this down right now, and they do have this flank opportunity into Fountain as well. MIBR have got to be very aware of this, but they've also lost their own Thermite. They haven't recovered the Diffuser, however, from M-King. It looks like they're mostly just doing the work where they can. Potentially a vent side take right now. They don't really have too much utility for that execute, but they do still have a couple of EE1Ds to make it happen. 35 seconds left to go on the clock, and we'll see the push start to come down. And Novice has managed to find his way into the backside as well, as there goes one EE1D, but Live takes Novice off the board as well, and that quicker rotate from Live is he's 1 HP in a dream to bring this back in.
It's going to be close. Black Dragons still having the smoke, who has expended all of those toxic babes, and MIBR here are down the man now. They have to try and pull themselves out of this. PZD is trying to put this to bed and give his team the first map. Cyber pushes on in, but will be met by hard resistance and still 1 HP. Smoke picks up the kill nonetheless. And well, Black Dragons, they take border. MIBR just cannot get it together. Honestly, both teams, they cannot get their attacks in shape.
Yeah, like, very standard 4-2, 4-2, Border mostly defender-sided, and it's just, yeah, no, I mean, you need to step up to the mark if you want to avoid that from happening, and MIBR just couldn't avoid this situation from happening. Black Dragon's going to be pretty happy with that. They take their map. We're going to be heading into map number 2 of Clubhouse after this break.
Absolutely stunning! They are the champions!
Predict the outcome, win the game. Get live coverage and schedules for your favorite tournaments. Analyze, predict, and vote to gain points. Compete with other esports fans and climb the leaderboards. Strafe, everything esports. Download now on iOS and Android.